How's it going, everybody? Right here today, and we are back with our Minnesota Wild Draft to Glory. And guys, we are in the conference finals. But before we get to the episode, guys, can you leave a like on this video? Let's get to 7 likes to see if we can propel ourselves to that Stanley Cup Finals. Give us that little extra slice of luck and get ourselves to the Cup Finals for the second time in franchise history. And if we get there, I have a good feeling about what might happen when we do. But guys, I'm going to need you to hit that like button. I don't know if we're going to get there if you don't hit it. So anyway, let's go ahead and jump into this episode, guys. After our series against the Colorado Avalanche ended in our favor after a pretty solid series, 1-0 in Game 5 in an elimination game is not exactly what you want to see. But for the rest of the series, I mean, it was just very, very good. It was a very good series. 1 goal against, 1 goal against, 3 goals in overtime there. This one, we won in overtime, 3 goals against, 1 goal against, 2 goals against. It was a very low-scoring affair for our opponents, and surprisingly enough, our team has been defensively solid in getting the contributions from where we need them. The first line has been solid. I mean, Greenway has got 11 points. Johansson's got 14 points. Kaprizov's got 14 points. Slightly outshined by Johansson because he got the extra goal. He's also an extra plus, so... 17 penalty minutes for Greenway is not great, but, you know, I can't really do much about that. Then we got Fiala, Craig Takashi, and Matt Zuccarello. It's been an okay line. I mean, 7 points. It's kind of what you expect from a second line. I'd like to see some more contributors, though, from that line, although that's probably a very good, more defensive line, I guess. I mean, for a sniper, Kevin Fiala's got a very good defensive category, so I'm happy with it if it's going to shut down opposing teams' lines. Anyway, then we have Rossi with Nykulin and Hartman. Rossi is probably the one who's impressed me the most outside of the top line because he's got 5 assists. He's playing on that third line with Nykulin and Hartman. Not exactly what I would call bona fide goal scorers, but nonetheless, he's got 5 assists, so that's good to see him contributing from the third line, especially after his rookie season was, well, interesting. 31 points. I played him way before he was ready, but he has grown from it and really stepped up in a big way last season as well. You can see, 12 games played, 4 points minus 5 was not exactly what we needed out of him. Anyway, then the fourth line is Parise, Bitton, and Foligno. Parise has gotten 4 points. He's chipped in. The fourth line has been actually the most impressive line outside of that first line. Chipping in with, 5 points basically apiece. It's really impressive to see our fourth line getting half a point per game. On the back end, Ruslan Zamanov has actually grown a point, guys. I know he was an 80 coming into this one. Brodin at an 84. That pairing has been very solid. Then Ryan Suter and Kalen Addison getting the +5 overall. They're both a +5 and a +4, so that's fantastic. And then the third defensive pairing, Spurgeon and Soucy. Spurgeon, I believe, was a minus at one point during the playoffs, so him and Soucy picked it up there in that last series. Good to see, everybody is just kind of rolling right now. And then we go back to the goaltender, who's having an absolutely out of his skull postseason. I mean, 936, 193 for an 81 overall minor league start. I mean, first of all, 81 overall to me is a backup, not a minor league starter. I don't know why his role is that. I don't know if there's some kind of underlying stat here that they say is not good. He's not very aggressive. He's a very nice guy. Hunter Jones, look at that smile. Very, very nice guy. But anyway, he has been playing so fantastic for us. I can't complain. Scratch, we got Dewar and McCoshen, just in case. I'm probably not going to use them ever, but so far this postseason, the team has just been playing well. Speaking of a team that's been playing well, the Arizona Coyotes made it this far as well. With the first line of Clayton Keller, Nick Schmaltz, and Phil Kessel. Phil Kessel with 7 goals, 5 assists, so these guys are about a point per game. Keller with 15 points, though, in 11 games is very, very good. It's a good first line. Then they got Nugent Hopkins with Barrett Hayton and Christian Fischer. So a very solid second line. It does scare me. Christian Fischer with his 14 penalty minutes. Maybe some we can look to exploit. But then their third line, they've got Connor Garland, Dvorak, and Frank Vetrano. That's not good for us. Although it is a minus line, so despite being as highly powered as it is with an 86 overall on the third line, it's a minus line, so it's not exactly fantastic. And their fourth line, as Bobby Ryan, Brock McGinn, and Lawson Krause, is fine. It's not anything to write home about. It's not been very productive either. I mean, Bobby Ryan's got 4 goals, but it wouldn't shock me if he's on their power play. Defensively, they still have Oliver Ekman Larson and Jacob Chikrin. However, it is Oliver Ekman-Larsson and Troy Stecher that are rocking on the first pairing there. Troy Stecher is a -1. Playing alongside Oliver Ekman-Larsson, you kind of can give them the edge in defenders because they just have better defenders than we do. But as long as we can take advantage of their first and third pairings, I'm fine. Their second pairing, however, is quite nasty. +9 for Jacob Chikrin, +10 for Cam Fowler. And then Brian Dumoulin and Ben Hutton are fine. They're just kind of there. They're doing their thing. Nothing too impressive. And in goal, they got Philip Gustafsson, also having a very similar postseason to Hunter Jones. Both of them around that 2 goal against average in the 930s for save percentage. So both players playing incredibly well. And then scratch, they've got Nick Malik, Gustav Forsling, and Cam Dineen. So nobody that we should really look out for them potentially stepping in. I don't think the AI even does that anyway. But let's go ahead and check out their team stats before we get into this simulation. I know I just kind of totally pulled one over on you guys. You totally thought I was going into the simulation, but I'm not, because I'm curious to see how they have played. 3.7 goals for, beating our 3.4, but their goals against are only slightly higher than ours at 2.36, with ours at a flat 2.0. So we allow about 2 goals per game, scoring about 3.5. They score close to 4, but allow slightly over 2. It's going to be a very interesting matchup, and I think, you know, looking at the statistics here, the best teams definitely did make it. I mean, by a long shot. I mean, the next most wins are the Flames and the Avalanche, right? And the Avalanche did not score much at all. We really did shut them down, though, and that's kind of reflected in those stats. I mean, especially through 10 games, if they're going to only score, 2 goals, 1 goal per game. And then the Calgary Flames did score a lot, but unfortunately couldn't keep the puck out of their own net. Markstrom having a bad postseason, I guess. But it's time to stop talking about teams that aren't in the postseason. There are 2 teams left in the Western Conference. It is us, and the only team standing in our way is the Arizona Coyotes. So let's see. Can we get past the Arizona Coyotes, who actually finished the season better than we did, but we ultimately finished with a better record, which is why we have home ice advantage here in Minnesota. Game 1. Let's get it started. First period, Arizona gets the first goals. Dvorak in that third line. Yeah, that is very scary. That third line is good. Now, I know they've been taken advantage of so far in the first 2 rounds, but this is definitely a round for them to correct themselves, and boy, what a time it would be. Second period, holy crap. Hayton, Nugent-Hopkins, and Kessel scoring, and it is 4-0 Arizona, but Jordan Greenway gets us 1 goal back. So we are not going to get shut out here. Another goal before the 10-minute mark makes me believe we are going to lose, because it's Bobby Ryan's goal for the Arizona Coyotes. If it was our goal, I might have believed that we might have had a chance to pull out some kind of overtime magic. But at 5-1 with Bobby Ryan scoring, it is just not going to happen for us. 1 minute to go, and we can go check out the stats in a 5-1 loss on home ice. Taking a look at said stats, not much I can do. I really can't give Parise or Spurgeon any less ice time. I mean, 9 minutes and you're a -2? That's bad. Ruslan Zamanov, though, Kaprizov with -2s. They are playing on the top lines, but like Susi, I can't really play much less. They really did just take advantage of the lack of quality depth on this team. I mean, our fourth line with Parise's okay, but he's not going to be good defensively. Anyway, it was just 1 game, got pretty shelled hard. Offense did not step up there. We may have to change something up here if we lose this game on home ice. Losing 2 on home ice would be absolutely tragic and really put a dent in my confidence. First period, okay, we do get some goals. Clayton Keller scores, but Marcus Johansson and our first line answers on the power play, and Marco Rossi, who I said I was already impressed with, comes through in a big way, giving us a 2-1 lead. Second period, all right, nobody's gonna score. That's what we want to see. When we're up, nobody scoring is fine with us. We're fine with that. Shots in our favor, 24-20 at the end of that period, but we do get a 5-on-3 power play, and Nugent-Hopkins is going to score a shorty on a 5-on-3, and Arizona ties it on the back of that goal just 5 minutes into the period there for that one. Speaking of 5 minutes, we got 5 minutes left in the third period. Will there be a late regulation hero? No, there won't. We're going into overtime. I'll catch you guys in there. Here we go, guys. Puck drop in overtime. The faceoff is won by your Minnesota Wild. Brodin gets it, tries to dump it, but Troy Stecher is there. I clowned on him a bit. He's going to turn it over, though. That's Troy Stecher. Johansson Good save by Gustafsson. Not a great shot, but definitely a dangerous area to be giving away the puck. Good passing from the Minnesota Wild, leading to that chance. Anyway, we get a chance now with Kaprizov. The puck goes to the net, but covered by Gustafsson, and he's seen quite a bit of the rubber so far early in this overtime. Usually it's a bit of back and forth. It gets dumped. It goes all the way back down. Somebody's on the outside. Shots are blocked. But no, he's already had to make 2 saves. He's getting called into action again. And that rebound was not dealt with properly by Gustafsson, but it's going to go into the corner where there was no Minnesota Wild player. Now Clayton Keller comes in. He's going to dump it back to OEL. He goes out front, and that's a Phil Kessel tap in. And we have some things to change, boys. 3-2 Arizona. He was covered in front. Marcus Johansson, a -2 in that one. Our first line getting bombed. I think I may take Jordan Greenway off that top line. I want to keep Kaprizov up there just because Kaprizov is our star player. But I just think I need a more defensive presence, and you guys know exactly who I have in mind, who I'm going to promote to give some more ice time to. It is Craig Takashi. We're going to lose the +3, but that's okay with me. Zuccarello, none of those guys can really take faceoffs, which is a bit concerning. I don't want to move a guy like Zuccarello down. I think I'm going to leave it like that. Greenway is probably the best faceoff man, but I'm going to put him down there. Craig Takashi is going to go down there. Lefty, lefty. Okay, so they're both lefties. Kaprizov can play left wing, so we're going to leave it like that. Defensively, I don't know if there's much else I can change back there. That game was a lot closer, just kind of blew the lead there on a 5-on-3, which is the saddest thing I've ever had to say. But the Pittsburgh Penguins are up 2-0 in the Eastern Conference, but that doesn't matter to us right now because we need to get past the Arizona Coyotes here in Arizona. Can we pull a game back in this series? Winning this game obviously is massive. If we go down 3-0, it's a huge mountain to climb. We just simply cannot afford to do that. We don't have the talent to be trying, climbing out of these holes. We need to take advantage of our opportunities when we get them, which is why losing last game hurt so much. First period, we're up 1-0. Is Jordan Greenway still on the power play, I believe, that first line power play. He gets his goal on the second line for even strength, but power play, he's on the first line. Second period, yes, there we go. Matt Zuccarello, and that second line starting to come alive now. With Jordan Greenway being demoted and Craig Takashi being moved up. We get another power play, can't convert on either opportunity, but 10 minutes gone, period's going how I would want it to, and even better there as Jonas Brodin gets a third goal. That should be the final insurance marker we need to go ahead and steal one back here on the road. 3-0 shutout win. Hunter Jones coming up big there in that game. 5 goals total in 2 games, whereas they've had 5 goals in that first game. So much better response defensively from us. Offense coming in when we need it to. We need to be scoring 3 goals a game and holding the opponent to 2 goals or less. So far, done that once out of 3 times, and we've won once out of 3 times. So hopefully we can steal the game back on the road again. I mean, back-to-back road wins after dropping both at home would give me a lot of confidence and provide this team with a lot of momentum. Anyway, we're on the road yet again. Game number 4, a huge one. Could tie the series here with a win, so why don't we go out and do it? First period, it's 1-0 Arizona as Fisher gets the first goal for the Coyotes. Second period sees us score 3. Zuccarello with a goal, Foligno with a goal, and Hartman. Lines 2, 4, and 3 all chipping in with huge goals there to get us a 2-goal advantage. First line's been quiet, but so has the first line of the Arizona Coyotes. That's why I moved Takashi up, was not to get more offense out of that first line, but to get more defense from it. We get another power play opportunity here. Can't score on it. Get a third and a 3-goal lead. But Greenway is also probably getting less ice time, so he's taking less penalties, I assume. And with 2 minutes to go, 1 minute, we scored 3, held our opponents to 2 or less. Hunter Jones, back-to-back games where he puts on a show. 1 goal on home ice for the Arizona Coyote faithful to cheer about. That's the kind of momentum sapper we want. 4-0 though. The Penguins sweep the Buffalo Sabres, and the Penguins now await the winner of this series as it's now become a best of 3. Kirill Kaprizov is now the leader in points with 17 after 14 games played. Hopefully he plays 16 games and has potentially 7 more to go. But back on home ice, the home teams have not fared well in this series. Will that change tonight? Let's go ahead, get into puck drop and find out. First period is 3-1 home team, definitely coming up big in the first period. Cam Fowler getting the first goal of the game, but Marco Rossi, Jordan Greenway, and Kirill Kaprizov all scoring. So that's, again, lines 3, 2, 1, getting contributions from all up and down the lineup, and that's what this team is made of. It is just, contributions from all over the place. It's not one player we're putting all our hopes on, right? I know Takashi and Kaprizov are really the stars of the team. Johansson is too, I guess. But it's just contributions from guys like Rossi on that third line, who I highlighted before the series as somebody who I was already impressed with. I'm already glowing about the team right now. We're done with one period, though, in Game 5. Second period, and that's why I shouldn't be talking so hunky-dory about the team in the middle of an EA sim, because they're going to hear you, and they're going to punish you for being happy. EA hates when you're happy. Connor Garland, Fisher, and Keller all scoring for the Arizona Coyotes as they answer our latest 3 goals with 3 of their own, giving them a 4-3 lead. And now on home ice, we are going to tie it with Kalen Addison on that second defensive unit. Is there still another goal left in this third period? There is. Lawson Krause scores it with 9 minutes to go, and now we need to battle back. If we can force overtime, I'd give us a chance. 2 minutes, 1 minute, no hero in this one. Arizona puts themselves in prime position to head to the Stanley Cup Finals. In that first line, getting bodied yet again. -2s all about Spurgeon and Soucy. Spurgeon is just, God. Do I scratch Spurgeon? That is the question. I know we've got some players that he's on the power play though too. He's the only minus defender of the bunch. I gotta scratch him. I gotta scratch him. We're gonna bring in Ian McCoshen, the defensive defenseman, hopefully to get ourselves. I mean, we can get a +5 there, but I'm gonna leave him down there like that. McCoshen is not going to be on the power play either, though. Fiala, we don't actually have a single defender there, so why don't we put Jonas Brodin on this second penalty kill, or power play, excuse me. So we got Parise, Rossi, Zuccarello, Nyquil, and Brodin, whereas Greenway, Johansson, Takashi, and Kaprizov, Fiala. I'm bold, boys. I'm putting all forwards out there. I don't care. Ian McCoshen out, and we are going to bring in left defender Jonas Brodin. So it's Johansson, Greenway, Kaprizov, Fiala. I'm actually going to move Brodin up there. I'm fine with this. Rossi, Zuccarello, Fiala. I think Rossi actually grew a point as well right now. I'm not entirely certain about that, but we are going to bench Jared Spurgeon. I've not been impressed with him. He's been kind of a thorn in our side, and I think he's getting exposed right now in this series. But guys, we got 2 games, and we need to win them both if we are going to make the Stanley Cup Finals. I really don't want our run to end like this. This has felt like such a great run. The team's got a bright future, I know, but it's not. We can't go out like this, because this just feels like such a dominant run to be ended like this. I mean, I know it is a deep team we're playing, but man, come on, we got to at least put up a bit more of a fight. Let's at least take it to 7, boys. Come on. 1 game. That's all we're focused on right now is this one. First period, it's 3-1 Arizona. Keller, Kessel, Bobby Ryan. Soucy scores from center ice for us, so maybe a little luck going our way there. But it's not going our way so far in this first period. 3 goals on 14 shots where we only had 5. That is not good enough. Second period, Arizona extends their lead. It is 4-1 Arizona, and we have a monumental mountain to climb. But we get a power play opportunity of 4-on-3, and Fisher's going to score shorthanded. Technically not, but it is shorthanded, I'm pretty sure, because we were still on the power play. Arizona is going to punch their ticket to the Stanley Cup Finals, and we are going to lose with a whimper, not with a bang. Arizona finally gets some goals on home ice. A 5-1 loss, and the one thing I do want to know is who took the minuses. It was Craig Takashi, Johansson, Kaprizov, the big minuses. That first line, Craig Takashi with a -4. Dude ghosted in the Western Conference Finals. Addison, Sutter, Soucy. I mean, nobody played well. McCoshen, 13 minutes was even, so I didn't, I guess, make the wrong choice there. But we lose, giving up 5 goals in back-to-back games, and that's where our run ends. And that is honestly depressing because I felt like we could have done something. I feel like the forward core is good enough. It's just clearly the defensive core is garbage. I mean, Brodin is our best defender at an 84. We're hoping Zamenhof takes the step to become another like 84 with him there. Jared Spurgeon's contract hurts. 3 more years at $7.5 million. Maybe it's time to offload him at the draft, see what we can get for him. Kalen Addison is growing into be what I think is a fine defenseman. He's very good offensively, and he's got solid defensive stats there. Sutter is probably going to retire. I hope he does. He's got another year left on his contract. Carson Soucy is another fine third-pairing defenseman. Addison can probably be a second-pairing defenseman. I honestly am fine with Brodin, Zamenhof, and Addison. I'm happy with those 3. I think they'll grow. Well, not Brodin, obviously, but Zamenhof and Addison. We'll see what happens with Spurgeon. We may trade him at the deadline or at the draft, but we don't exactly have a ton of players coming up. We got Louis Belpedio, Ryan O'Rourke, who we're gonna hope grows. Mermis is another defender, but he's not gonna grow. Alec Halischuk, but he's medium 7th defenseman. Gordeev. Yeah, it's not. We don't really have AHL players coming through the system to save the day. Drafting defenseman is probably something I'm going to want to do. If we take a look at in the system, Will Thompson is probably the guy that's going to come in and save the day. 80 overall, low elite, 19. He's actually quite good. Talk about a top 4. We can have Zamenhof with Brodin, and then Will Thompson here playing with Kalen Addison. I don't know what kind of player he is. I guess I could guess. His defensive awareness is up there in the 80s. Offensive awareness is 86. He might be a two-way defender, but I'm not sure. O'Rourke is really the only other guy we have coming up. Belpedio is not quite good enough. So maybe I do want to keep Jared Spurgeon around. He was fine for the regular season. It's just in the playoffs this season. He really dropped the ball. So I guess that we could go with Thompson and Addison here, Brodin, Zamenhof, and then like Soucy and Spurgeon. It's not a bad defensive core, especially if everybody grows. I mean, Thompson's really the wild card here, depending on how much he grows in the offseason, because he's already grown a ton in the regular season. Taking a look at in the system, you can see here we've got Cogliano, who maybe will grow if he jumps. Braden Cogliano, if he jumps a ridiculous amount, maybe. Will Thompson here is a two-way defender. I'm going to sign him in the offseason, bring him in on his ELC. Christian Takashi could grow as well. We do have a bright future, guys. We got to add to it in this one. Definitely needing some defenders. Omar Malhotra as well could be a guy that can come in and give us a spark defensively. 72, he's probably not going to be ready just yet, but we'll see. There is some options going forward. Remember, we cannot trade for anybody. They have to be drafted. Taking a look at our draft picks upcoming, we have 1 first, a second, 3 thirds, and then the only other round where we have multiple picks is the 7th. So those 3 thirds, we're going to hope to hit on something big. Actually, I'm wondering if there's anybody worth trading up for. Boscheman, there's no defenders in the top. The first defender is projected to go 8th. Andrew Stanton, 1 year away from being in the NHL. He is a defensive defenseman. Same thing here with Caden Bradley. He's 2 years away. There's Caden Armstrong, who actually looks more likely as a guy I would go up and go get, because he looks NHL ready is what they're saying, especially with those stats. Cycle Pinch, I don't know what our coach likes, but if he's NHL ready and it's like a 78, that would 100% be worth it to me. Coaching staff, Christie, Matthew Christie here likes Pinch Cycle. That would fit basically anywhere for us. So maybe we move up to 13. I know we're going to pick pretty late. What is it, 28? Yeah, it looks like we're going to be picking 28th. There are quite a few players, though, that we could potentially move up for. I say quite a few. It's pretty much Caden Armstrong at 13 there. As far as other players, I'm looking specifically for defensemen. Pedersen here. Pedersen looks like he's NHL ready at 26 overall. 3-bar NHL ready. Very good looking in his stats. We obviously don't know exactly yet. There's Kirill Bykov, who's 3 years away. Michael Ronick. Lutonin. Yeah, I'll scout some of these guys, Don't worry. Taking a look at these guys. Medium elite goalie here, potentially. Chandler Blackler. 5 years away from the NHL, so he's probably got a low overall, but could be ready eventually. I'm going to try and take a look through here, guys, off, not live. And we can see here who is potentially a guy we could bring in, right? Those NHL ready guys are the guys I love to bring in. They may not have the high potential, but we can't afford to wait. We need guys that are ready now because I can't sign or trade for stopgaps. So Caden Armstrong is really, really interesting to me. NHL ready at 13 there. Would have to give some stuff up to go up and get him. There's Lane Danner. He's 2 years away, though. 1 year away for Gail Randall, who's another guy that could be interesting. Looking at the next guy, it's Colin Conacher, who is 3 years away, so that's a little long. But then there's Tony Peterson here. Potentially elite. NHL ready. He's probably top 6. Kirill Bykov is not somebody I'm interested in. There's Alan Eddy, who's 3 years away. Next defenseman is Gagliardi, who's 3 years away. Yeah, so we'll see. There's Xander Cato, who's 3 years away, but could be medium elite. He's probably not. Yeah, so we'll take a look at there, guys. Should I be going after the guys that are NHL ready? I think I'm going to. That's kind of my plan anyway, but I just want to know, based on the names I showed you guys, anybody stick out to you? Anybody that is really calling out to you? But guys, make sure to leave a like on the video if you enjoyed it. Subscribe if you want to see some more, and I will see you guys in the next one.